Welcome to the Royal College of Physicians of Edinburgh's new temporary exhibition, Wild and Tame Animals in History. In this exhibition, we explore our shared history with animals in medicine, both scientifically and culturally. We look at medical care for animals and the role they played in the development of modern medicine, how we studied them, defining our place in the natural world beside them, and the vital role they played in our cultural history. So we start at the beginning looking at animal care. This is one of the first books on the care of horses with medical recipes. Written in English, it was written as a practical guide and was popular and accessible to people who didn't know Latin. In a similar vein, fleams like this one were used for bloodletting. Animal skin is usually thicker and harder to cut than human skin, and these blades were an improvement on the earlier use of fish teeth or sharp stones. In veterinary medicine today, blood is taken from animals to diagnose diseases, just as in human medicine. And then we move on to this trepan. Trepanning is a surgical procedure which involves drilling a hole in the skull. A recent discovery of a trepanned cow skull was dated to the Neolithic period, around 12,000 years ago, and it is not clear whether the trepanning was done to save the cow or practice the procedure to be used on humans. If it was done to cure the cow, then it is the earliest evidence of veterinary surgery. If not, it is the earliest evidence of animal experimentation. Animal experimentation made many important medical breakthroughs possible. This book details the experiments of Johann von Brunner on dogs. In one experiment, he removed the pancreas from dogs and noticed their increased appetite, urination, and extreme thirst. He had produced all the symptoms of diabetes. The discovery of insulin in 1922 was also made by experiments on dogs. Animals have also helped in the development of vaccines. The first vaccine for smallpox was developed by Edward Jenner, who used the pus from cowpox, and the first laboratory-developed vaccines by Louis Pasteur were for animal diseases. We move on now to look at how we have studied animals. This book, History and Mammalium, by Conrad Gessner, is an encyclopaedia of all contemporary knowledge of animals from the mid-16th century. There are over 1,500 woodcuts in this book, with descriptions of animals, their habitats, their use in medicine and agriculture, and their names in various languages. Renaissance books like this one were the starting point of modern zoology. Moving forward in time, this image shows Chiropotus satanas that Alexander Humboldt observed in the Orinoco region of Venezuela and Colombia. Humboldt was a German scientific explorer and natural philosopher who spent 5 years travelling around South America, Mexico, and Cuba. The monkey depicted is now known by the common name Humboldt bearded saki. Charles Darwin was inspired by Humboldt and described him as the greatest traveller who ever lived. When he was 16, Darwin enrolled to study medicine, but soon realised that natural history was his true passion, culminating in this first edition copy of On the Origin of Species by Means of Natural Selection. Darwin's theory of natural selection created controversy at the time, but is now accepted as one of the greatest discoveries of the history of science, and our understanding of our place in the natural world. We finish off our exhibition by looking at how animals have permeated culture and science as symbols and inspiration. One such example is this grotesque imagining of a mermaid. Known as the Fiji mermaid, it was made in the 1800s by sewing the top half of a monkey onto the bottom half of a fish. Phineas Barnum exhibited the mock-up in his New York museum, though to his disappointment, the naturalists he invited to examine it refused to confirm its authenticity. The original was eventually destroyed in a fire, but has since been recreated for commercial gain, a twisted reimagining of the beautiful myth. Keeping with mythology, descriptions of unicorns first appeared in the Babylonian and Indus civilizations. Over time, it became a symbol of protection and healing power. It was a popular feature in European medieval family crests because it was believed its powdered horn could cure poisoning. Unicorns are still listed in this book of drugs made from animal parts, first published in 1694. Myths often permeated scientific volumes. This illustration of the sea monk was based on the animal that had been found off the coast of Norway in 1546. Pierre Bellon was a French explorer and naturalist who travelled all around Greece and the Middle East. Most of his illustrations come from his own observations, but some, including this sea monk, was based on story alone. There were other attempts to bring the study of animals to human benefit, such as Italian scholar Giambattista della Porta's practice of physiognomy. Physiognomy is the practice of ascribing character traits to someone based on their facial features. Porta used woodcuts of animals to draw parallels and illustrate human characteristics. He even had an arrangement with the hangman to inspect bodies of criminals, and according to him, people with faces resembling dangerous animals were more likely to go to prison. The Royal College of Physicians of Edinburgh runs a series of temporary exhibitions on a wide range of themes, from mental health to skin, addiction and death. They are free to everyone to visit, there is no need to book. You can find out more on our website at rcpe.ac.uk/heritage.